What is up, everyone? Breaking news just happened about noon today, noon Eastern, for Major League Fishing. The 2020-2022 schedule just announced. So I wanted to give you guys my first take on what I thought about the schedule. I dropped it on my social media and said, hey, I want to hear your thoughts on it. And I want to hear some of your thoughts below. But before that, I'm going to sort of dive into it. It's a pretty cool schedule, I will say, but I'm going to sort of talk about each lake, and so we have 7 stages, which we have this year as well. In the first stage, drum roll, not really knocking on wood, I don't know, West Monroe, Louisiana, Lake Darbo. So my buddy Justin Martin lives right there. It's crazy. So yeah, Lake Darbo is the first day, or the first start of it. It's a 3-lake event. And so what's cool about it is basically elimination round will be started on Lake Darbo. So all competitors will fish Darbo for 4 days, 2 days per each group. And then the knockout round will be on Caney Lake, which I've just heard of some good things about Caney. I really don't know anything about Darbo, and from what I could see on aerial photos, what I just popped up this morning, it looks like there's a lot of cypress trees. It's very unique. Don't know how the fishing is. I've heard of some. I remember a friend of mine a long time ago fished below there in a tournament, maybe in Darbo Bayou, maybe. I don't. So it's a very. I have no clue what to expect. All I know is that it is in Louisiana, and there's cypress trees. It should be good in February. You don't know how cold it's going to be, but we're going to find out. Okay, so this is the first start, and it is February 5th through the 10th. The next lake, Caney Lake, I've heard it's a little bit clearer body of water, maybe some grass is really the only thing I know about it. And then Bussy Break, I've heard Bussy's pretty dang legit. So just sort of my own, I don't know anything about these really bodies of water, just other than hearsay that I've heard from, just traveling through, but it's really cool that we're going to West Monroe, home of Duck Commander, and it'll be great to be in West Monroe hanging out and trying to catch a few of those bass. So anyway, stage 2, February 9th through the 14th on no other than legendary Lake Fork. Lake Fork, that time of year, I got a feeling, it's going to be pretty tough. I'm not going to say there's going to be some giants caught. There's no doubt, because Lake Fork has absolutely got them. The cool thing about this is Lake Fork is crazy as far as how much pressure that place gets. Like when we were there before, you couldn't go into a pocket without having 3 or 4 boats in each pocket. So that was frustrating trying to compete. So I'm looking forward to this one because I think the fish will be in a lot of different stages. You're gonna have pre-spawn fish, wintertime fish, maybe even some fish trying to pull up and get close to spawn. I wouldn't say spawning fish. So that'll be a really cool event. I'm truthfully looking forward. I'm truthfully looking forward, I had a call from a buddy of mine, to that event. I don't know exactly how it's gonna set up, but there'll be a lot of big fish caught, and it'll be interesting to see ultimately how it comes down. Stage number 3, March 2nd through the 7th, Lewis Smith Lake and Smith, MDJ, Smith Lake is what we call it, Smith. Like, that is really what he calls it. It's pretty funny. Big spotted bass, big largemouth, not a ton of great, 4+ pounders in that lake, but there's a lot of fish. Typical pre-spawn deal, I would assume. A lot of clear water, some stained water. John Cox won the Pro Circuit event down there, swimming a jig, I believe, this year around that same time of year. So you get some warm weather, you get some water coming up into the bushes. It could be good largemouthing. If you clear water, it really allows you to do whatever you want to do. Fish docks, rocks, spotted bass, clean water, largemouth, the backs of creeks, flats. Really has a lot of options, and that's going to be a fun event. Red Crest is on Grand Lake of the Cherokees, which we've had set up for it's March 23rd through the 27th, which is going to be pre-spawn, I would assume. A lot of different things going on, but I'm looking forward to that event. I just don't know exactly how it's going to fish. I've seen it where it's really tough that time of year, and I've seen it where it's really good. It just depends on if the water's high and muddy, if it's low, it's been warm, it's been cold. All of those things and factors play into it. The General Tire Heavy Hitters event is going to be April 9th to the 14th on Lake Palestine. Palestine was going to be a Red Crest event until y'all had everybody in Texas, like power outages, ice storm, was crazy. And then, you know, we didn't get it. I ended up actually getting to run around and go look at that lake. Did not really get to fish it, but it looks phenomenal. Big stumps, docks, rocks. Seems like there's some, you know, pretty stained water for the most part. But I mean, that time of year, it looks like 9th to 14th, it should be stupid good, I would assume. I bet you it's probably insane. So probably peak spawn, if not close to that. I mean, I would have to think you're going to catch some absolute tanks. So stage number 4, April 30th through May 5th, is Lake the Ozarks. Lake the Ozarks is a lake that I've not spent a lot of time on. I fished a couple of cup events out that way. One in June and one in the fall. Not really, I think I've only spent 3 days on the water, and it's always not been in my boat. So that's sort of, I don't know a whole lot about it. There's definitely some really good fish out there. And from what I've seen, there's a lot of docks, a lot of rocks. But it's a really big lake, and there's a lot of northern strain largemouth, a lot of good fishing. Reminds me a lot of Table Rock, but there's more, you know, a bigger concentration of largemouth all over the lake, it seems like. Just from the little bit I was there, it seemed like it was mostly largemouth. I'm sure there might be maybe some smallmouth, maybe a couple spots mixed in, but it didn't seem like there was very many. So I think it is predominantly largemouth from everything that I know and the research that I have done. I think that event will be, I don't know how that one's going to fish. I don't know exactly, but I got a feeling it's going to be fun because they're right around that spawn, post-spawn, pre-spawn time of year. You know, it can go any which way. I remember events in Grand Lake that we fished and Kevin won, that I was catching spawners and Kevin was catching them cranking pre-spawners. You know, that's what happens on those lakes out there. There's so many different waves of fish. There's a great population of bass that they come in waves, and you can catch those pre-spawners while multiple fish are spawning, and there's post-spawners. So there's an opportunity to do multiple different things. Obviously, the one that I'm looking forward to probably the most, I'm not going to say the most, I'm going to say this one, Stage 5 Watts Bar. That event, that lake, I've not fished Watts Bar but maybe a day and a half of my life, which is cool. That's what I love about bass fishing, going to a body of water. Now, it's only an hour down the road, but I truly love fishing bodies of water that are completely different. You know, that are different, we haven't gone to, that there's not history on. That is something that's such a great thing as an angler and a professional angler going all over the country. That is something that I just look forward to go to a new body of water, not having any preconceived notions, not having really tournament history to really go back and research. You don't have the game plan of where the area of the lake it's going to go down at. You have to go off of instinct, and that is why I'm a big advocate for going to new bodies of water, because it's not the same places. Everybody is forced to fish from their gut instinct, and that's what I love to do. So, Watts Bar, June 4th to the 9th. It'll be interesting to see what they're at. I would assume some fish will be, quite a few fish will be post-spawn. I don't think it sets up nearly as much like Chickamauga, but it's going to be probably a pretty good fishing for sure. All right, so we get a break a little bit, and August 6th through the 11th, Stage 6 is at Lake Cayuga. I've only fished Cayuga just a couple times, and again, only fished it like one time. I think I fished it twice, and then both were like half days. One was on the MLF Cup event, and the other one was like a half day coming through. So very little experience there. It's great. I enjoy that. We're gonna go out there and try to dial it. And it seems like there's a lot of grass there. It seems like an unbelievable largemouth fishery. Probably one of the best largemouth fisheries from a northern strain largemouth in the whole nation. Really, like when you get up north, it puts out big weights, and so you can hit it wrong, and you can not catch very many, but you can hit it right, and you can wreck on them. So I think that's going to be one I'm looking forward to. I'm sure the weights will be insane, and they're going to find some big groups of largemouth, and maybe some smallmouth mixed in there. And then the final event, stage number 7, is at Mille Lacs Lake in Minnesota, September 10th to the 15th. This one right here. I've had a lot of good memories of Mille Lacs. I fished in AY Championship up there and reeled them in. I remember DC and I mean, it was so much fun. We were actually ended up starting on the same, real close to the same place, and we were reeling a lot of fish in and catching some fish. And the place has got a lot of big fish. It's got a lot of pressure, and it's not a huge body of water, but it seems like it's a really cool place to fish. And we haven't been there for a little while. So having a little bit of history there is good. But a lot of times when you have multiple years, 2, 3, 4, 5 years going to a body of water that you haven't been to for a while, a lot changes. Grass changes, the fish, population changes, areas of the lake get better or worse. So that's why I like going at least. I like to have a lot of fresh places to have a fresh start. Then I'll also, if we are going to go to a lot of places, new place or place that we have been to, go to them, multiple years down the road, because then it allows for things to change and make us as fishermen better and force us to find something different. So that is my thoughts on it. I'm really excited about the schedule because I truly feel like they did a great job. It's very diverse. There's largemouth, there's smallmouth, there's spotted bass, there's clear water, there's dirty water, they got it all. Cold water, it's really the full spectrum, and this is, something that, hey, we're going to see how it goes. I don't know if I had to pick one as my favorite. I probably would say, obviously it's going to be great to be right here at Watts Bar, here close to the house, but that's not going to be my favorite. My favorite is probably going to be the one in West Monroe, just because I don't think any national tournament has ever fished Darbo or Caney or Bussy Break. So that's great to me. So that's my favorite. Whether I get last or finish first, that's still my favorite for the season. I want to hear your opinion on the schedule because this one is definitely a little bit new. I do see a lot of people comment. One thing that I definitely would love to see is go out west. The issue is there is a lot of things that are, that make it difficult to travel out west every single year. I think we should definitely go out there eventually. I think that is hopefully in the plan because I want to go to Arizona. I want to go to Idaho. I want to go to California, some of the premier fisheries in the country. It does cost a lot of money for a lot of these anglers, and a lot of other anglers are still, it costs us a premium to go out there. But at the same point in time, I think if we can get over this COVID mess and get out that way and really get experience that, I'm looking forward to that. So, I know heart goes out to all the West Coast people out there. I want to see us go out there. I know we will very soon. But I'm sure they're biding their time and trying to figure out when we can make that trip out that way and absolutely kill it. So want to hear your thoughts on the schedule. This is going to be, it's going to be a lot of fun. And so I want to hear your guys' thoughts and what's your favorite pick? What's your favorite lake in the schedule? Drop a comment below. You know the drill. Do me a favor, hit a thumbs up for this video. If you liked it, helps us in the algorithm. And we are on to St. Clair. See y'all.